Welcome to Shell's After Dark Archives, the podcast where the veil between the known and the unknown is lifted. I'm your host Shell, and I'm here to guide you through the shadows of the supernatural. Here, we dive into chilling stories, unexplained mysteries, and real-life encounters with the paranormal. But this isn't just about storytelling, it's about the people behind the experiences. From ghost hunters to psychic mediums, UFO researchers to cryptid trackers, I'll be sitting down with those who dare to explore the strange and unusual. So, whether you're a skeptic, a believer, or just curious, get ready to embrace the unknown.
Turn off the lights, settle in, and prepare to journey into the After Dark Archives.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Shell's Spooky Stories, the After Dark Archives, and tonight I am joined by Andy DeCodes from Alienate UK. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Michelle.
Hello.
I forgot your name then. Oh, do you know what?
Oh, right, quit. I'm off.
Because it says Shell Spooky Stories behind you. I was going to say, hi,
yeah.
Spooky.
Hi, Spooky. I might go with that. I might just change my name on Deephole or whatever it is.
Yeah, just do that. Do that.
I'm going to name it Spooky. My name's just Spooky from now on.
That's it.
I won't answer.
The Spooky.
Yeah, I won't answer to anything else. I'm going to then go on to have a symbol, and I'll just be known as the Ghost.
Yes, there you go.
Yeah,
you can walk around doing that.
Yeah, I've got one of them up there.
Oh.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
I appreciate you're back from your travels, which we'll go into. So you're nice and tired and not sure what planet you're on, or
I have no idea. I don't know anything.
Well, what I want to do is just start off. We'll go into how you got started in this wonderful world of the paranormal and everything else.
Yeah. So, shall I start right at the very beginning?
Yeah.
Right.
Let's do it.
So, many moons ago, when it was quite a few, when I was 4, my mum used to put her in her bed to warm it up because I'm always hot. So it was like the human radiator, the human hot water bottle. So she'd put me in the bed till my mum and dad would go into bed, take me out, and then put me in the room that I used to share with my brother. Anyway, so there's one night I'm in bed. I know I was around 4 years old because we'd moved house and moved back again. They was modernising it and fitting central heating. And I know it was either just before or just after. And I had my 4th birthday when we was in the other house. It was only there for like 3-4 months. So that's how I can remember that. So I'm laying in bed, and the bed is on the wall opposite the bedroom window, but out the back was just fields. It's been developed on now, but at the time it's just playing fields, little kids' park, sewerage farm, golf course, path that goes round all the just common ground.
Yeah.
So there's no light interference coming in at all, unless you stood at the window with a torch, a flashlight if you're American. You're getting told off for that. And that was it. So I'm laying in bed and I'm facing the wall. And at the foot of the bed was a door going onto the landing. So Mum used to leave the landing light on so I could see it through the crack around the door, go between the door and door. So it's like a night light, isn't it? And
I used to have that as well, yeah.
So it was enough so I could see things in the room, but not enough that I could make things out, if that makes sense. So anyway, I'm laying in bed. I don't know if I'd been asleep. I just remember looking up at the wall, and it was probably about a foot away from where I was lay. And there's like this thing, probably about, I'd say the size of my hand off from my fingertip to my thumb. So about 4 inches.
Yeah.
And it was just like this light thing that was just spinning, like rotating, pirouetting, just going round and round.
Oh.
And it's like all the prisms, so you had all the colours going through it. But to me, it looked like a little person.
Yeah.
And I'm just watching it. But the only thing that I can relate it to is back then used to have vinyl records. For those that are really young, it's like pre-download, pre-tape, pre-CD and all that.
Pre-CDs.
Yeah. So you had like, me, mum and dad had a record player that was on a cabinet and it had a big plastic lid over the top to keep the dust off and that. Anyway, so my dad used to listen to records all the time, like Rod Stewart, Boney M, all that, whatever it was back in the 70s. And so the way the light came into the living room window where the record player was, it hit it and it bounced off that onto the wall, and it's a very similar effect to that. But this wasn't. There was nothing in Mum's room. There's like chest of drawers, wardrobe, bed, just your typical bedroom furniture of the 70s.
Yeah.
There's no mod cons or anything like that. It's like a dressing table, bedside table, lamp, wind up alarm clock, all that kind of stuff. Like very, very basic. It's like Stone Age. So there's nothing electrical other than the lamp. That was it.
Wow.
So, and I'm just watching this thing dancing on the wall, and eventually I must have, obviously I fell asleep because the next morning when I woke up I was in my own bed. So I'm guessing my mum had moved me, unless something had happened with his being, but I don't know. But I have had remote viewing done from around that time, and I got told that I do have missing time. So whether it was then or around that era, I don't know.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've got a few periods where I've missed time as well.
Yeah, but when you're that young, you don't even know the time, let alone how long you've got missing. But then 4 years later on from that, so where we had a massive back garden, like I said, it backed onto the fields and that, and it backed onto that house in the next street, like equivalent to where we were. And on that street was where I had what I recall my first UFO encounter when I was about 8 years old.
Oh, wow.
So I was cycling about Saturday. I got a bike for Christmas. So this was around March, April. And it'd been raining. I wasn't allowed out on my bike while it was raining, but I could go out riding through the puddles after. It was only me, none of my mates were out. And then I just stopped in the car and I looked up and seen this silver, what like nuts and bolt, two-tone metal disc right above me. And I'm just sat looking straight up at it. I haven't got a clue how long. It could have been 30 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours. Because there's no time reference and nobody else was there. I've no idea.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, I had a similar encounter, and I'd let my dogs out in the garden.
Yeah.
And I thought I'd been out there for 10 minutes. And when I came back in, my husband said I was only out there for like 30 seconds.
Yeah. Wow.
And I was like, what? I was like, well, where did I go?
Wow.
But when you say about having no time thing, I know that I'm missing a certain amount of time because my sister said to me, do you not remember when our cousin lived with us? And I was like, yeah, but she wasn't there very long. She lived with us for a year. And I was like, what? I was like, I literally only remember her putting posters up on a wall one day, and that is it.
She was there for a day.
If she was there, I was like, I don't really, other than that, I do not remember her being at any meals. I don't remember her like being there when I got in from school. Nothing. It's just like blanked.
Ooh, you might have been cloned.
I might have been. That would explain a lot.
Yeah. Or it could be Tommy Timebender changing stuff.
It could, yeah.
You know what? I need to tell you this. So when I go to phone him, I use Siri because I'm driving, so I'll use voice activation.
Yeah.
And I'll say, phone Tommy Cullen. There's no one in your contacts with that name. Who do you want to call? I just start laughing on phone Tommy Timebender. And then it does it. I love it. That picture comes up of what you did with the Titanic and all that. I just sat there laughing. Sorry to go off on a tangent. But
there's more to come on that, people. Watch this space.
Amazing. That's got to be one of the best podcasts ever. It really has.
It was, yeah. I laugh about it now and I keep telling everyone about it. I was like, I cannot wait for people to see it. It's like the paranormal QI, but so much better.
QI without the IQ.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. No, it was fun. It was so much fun.
It was a lot of fun. So after your alien encounters that you had, then what happened? What got you into like the paranormal side of it?
It was more the paranormal side. So I'd go and so my uncle was a groundsman for Salford Rugby Club when they used to be at the Willows. So the Willows is also a club. Like you can have parties there and dues like Friday, Saturday night.
Yeah.
And they used to have all the all the bands of the time back in the 70s and 80s, like Shiwaddy Waddy, Manfred Mann, all that. I think the Kinks and that were on there because all like the local. A lot of them were like the local Manchester or with the northwest of England groups that go there. So my uncle used to get tickets, so we'd go over. My mum and dad would go, and then it was literally probably about 30 steps from my cousin's front door to the entrance into the Willows.
Mm-hmm.
So we'd be there. Back then, no one can I swear. Yeah. No one gives a shit about the kids. You just leave them, and if they were there when you come back, it's a bonus. I don't know. It might not. Depends who the kid was.
Yeah, depends who your parents were.
Yeah, shit, the kids are still there. Better luck next time. But no, so they was like literally there, and they'd always come back every say half hour checking on us and what have you, or they'd send someone over and bring us drink, all that kind of stuff. So we'd stayed over that night. And the next morning, my uncle had a Betamax video. I'm going to dob him in, I don't care. He had a Betamax video. And he had, was it either Poltergeist or The Exorcist and Raiders of the Lost Ark? They hadn't even come out over here then.
Oh, right, yeah.
So me and my cousin had gone upstairs. Like, we must have been about the same age, about 8, 9. And my cousin's only 6 months older than me. Mm-hmm. So pretty much the same age and what have you. So I was playing with the Action Men and TARDIS and all that kind of stuff like you do. Like little toy cars and all that.
Yeah.
So they were downstairs, either Poltergeist or Exorcist. And then when they'd watch out, we was going to go down and watch Raiders of the Lost Ark. So we're in the bedroom. Remember the old turning knob doors with a little thumb slide to lock it? So it's an old terrace house. So it had the front room, then the middle room, then dead steep stairs going up onto the landing. At the end of there was a bedroom. As you got to the top of the stairs on the left, it was the bathroom. Mm-hmm. Then top of the stairs, turn immediately left, there's a bedroom, and then come back on yourself at the front of the house. There's a master bedroom. So my cousin was in the middle bedroom, and his 2 sisters used to share the bedroom at the end. And they're also my cousins, not just he was my cousin and they weren't. That sounded really weird. Yeah? So we was in there. They'd be heard like on the door, and I'm like, "Who's that?" He goes, "Oh, it'd be my granddad or like my mum, your mum, or somebody walking past, knocking on the door, going to the bathroom." So right, okay. Anyway, did it again. So we started laughing, opened the door, no one there. There's no one had gone downstairs. There's no movement anywhere. Oh. So, and this kept happening. I'm like, right, that's not anybody. There's no footsteps or nothing. Then we heard on the door, right? But on this one, we was ready. So I think it was my cousin. He had hold of the doorknob. So on the third knock, we pulled the door open because it opened inwards, and there would have been someone stood there like that.
Yeah.
No one there. I swear to God, I got to the bottom of them stairs, and I did not touch. I touched the top step and the hallway. That was it. Nothing in the middle.
Yeah.
I have never moved so fast in my life.
I can imagine.
But then
so kids like go flying. Like, can you imagine your parents all watching Poltergeist there, and you do it, and you're like.
So they had a front room, so that was like had a lot of his toys and all that in there as well. So we went and sat in there just laughing about it. Don't know why it was so funny. I was scared to death. But the house, so it used to have a cellar, and my uncle had the little. It's like a bar on wheels, like something you get on Bullseye.
Oh, right, yeah.
One of those. I'm slagging my family off here. It's not good. But no, it's a
Anyone
70s.
fancy some schnapps?
Yeah, so they had all the bottles and that, and they had stuff under the bar and that, and cocktail shakers. But behind that was a door that led down into the cellar. Now, I can't remember if they had it blocked off, but the houses around the area had been built on a cemetery, and it's a bit like Amityville. They'd only move the headstones; they didn't move the bodies.
Oh.
So I remember my auntie telling me that when she used to come, she'd hear my cousin downstairs, and he had a rocking chair, and she'd come downstairs because she could hear him talking to someone. And as she came in, the rocking chair was slowing down.
Oh, that's just nasty.
I know, but I found all this out in later life.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at the
It's probably
time.
a good job you didn't find that out as a kid. You'd be like terrified. You'd never go around their house.
Well, we didn't go that often. We went enough. It wasn't too far, but it was like, you know what I mean? It was used to walk.
Far enough.
It'd take about 45 minutes to get there, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, so that's where it all started, and it just ramped up from there. But there's been a massive gap where I believe not a lot or next to nothing's happened. But I think if I was to look back and do a proper deep dive into it all, there's probably a lot more went on than I actually realised.
Yeah, like little signs.
Just little bits and pieces here and there.
Yeah. I think you're right, because I think that I'm a bit similar. Like I had loads of stuff happen when I was younger, and then there was a whole period where I just shut everything off.
Yeah.
And I was like, not doing it.
I think mine was when it about 14, 15, and I was getting new friends and we was going out, but we weren't going out drinking, but we'd go out on adventures. So we'd go down to the river and we climb rocks and life-threatening, dangerous.
Yeah.
We
were too busy trying to be the ghosts rather than actually.
And then we just mucking about in water and climbing and just all that kind of stuff. Then started drinking and go out and then clubbing, and then you forget about all that kind of stuff as you're getting older. Yeah, so I did that for a few, and then everything else just kind of took a back seat. So I used to love going out clubbing and music, and I used to go to the Hacienda, Gatecrasher, all that kind of stuff, because I'm into dance music and house music. So I did that for probably about 15 years. So I wasn't, at that time, I was working. For the time and the job that I was doing, I was on good money. It worked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was enjoying that, because it's like, eventually I'm going to have to settle down as such. So everything kind of just took a back seat from it. There were, even in that time period, there were things that I've still acknowledged that have happened, that have recorded mentally.
Yeah.
There's other UFO sightings and shadow people and full body apparitions and stuff, but it's just okay.
I know exactly what you mean. I had this discussion with my best friend yesterday, actually.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, there was that whole period where things didn't happen. Then I was thinking, no, I remember coming in one night being drunk at her flat, and I remember in the middle of the night I woke up and there was this chair. She had an armchair, and I was on the sofa bed, and the armchair was kind of facing the sofa bed, and I was like, there is a fucking woman there. I know there's a woman sat in that chair. And I was like, she's staring at me. And I was like, I don't know how I know this, but I know there's a woman there.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the other things. So my mate, there's two brothers and another lad, and they rented a house between them. So that was it was a big terrace house. You had the front room, middle room, kitchen, cellar, and all that. So we used to go, and it was Super Nintendo had come out. So it was Mario Kart, or PS1, Gran Turismo, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So we'd go around, we'd be having a drink and racing and betting each other and just mucking about. Anyway, they had a big bay window. So there's a chair in the window. Then there was a sofa on the back wall opposite where the fire was. So we'd all sit around there, and there's a coffee table in the middle. Wooden plants was a thing back in the 90s, late 90s. And they had a wooden tulip. So it's a wooden vase with a wooden tulip sticking out, and that was in the middle of the bay window. And we sat there. So I'm sat on the sofa next to, I can say the names because I don't see these people anymore. I sat next to Neil, And then Phil, one of the brothers, he was sat in the chair at the bay window. This tulip and a thing came up over his head, down, and landed between him and the coffee table.
What?
And Neil went, "Oh, is that the wind?" Oh, what? No, Neil.
Yeah, the
it
wind
wasn't.
doesn't pick things up, move it.
And we all just looked and just burst out laughing. But then in the next room, we had, remember the old council type fires where it had the chrome rim round where you have the blocks?
Yeah.
He said if you sit there and watch long enough, you'll see movement. You don't move.
Yeah, you used to see people's reflections, yeah.
You see the reflection. He goes, and when you leave the cellar door open, you'll hear a chain being dragged about and all that. And we've all heard it. And these others, and they went down there and they got all these photos from like early 1800s, all the sepia. I think it was more, when they used to print the photos, right? So they'd take the photo and it'd take about 3 years to develop and it'd come out. And it's more like a drawing than an actual photo.
Yeah.
But these people, like in Victorian style clothing and the hair and everything. So we don't know if it was anything to do with that.
Oh,
so
that sounds... See, now I think I'd find something like that really interesting. Yeah. To like find a house like that and be like if you bought a house and you went, "Oh, look what I found." It'd be really exciting for about a week.
Yeah.
And then I think I'd be a bit sick of it. I'd be like, no, not for me anymore.
Yeah, so that's what I mean. So that's when we was going out. We was going out Friday, Saturday night. But that was one that I do remember. That stuff like that, if we didn't have any money, we'd stay in and do computer games.
Yeah.
So I like to get a few beers in and what have you. So it's like it was still happening all the time. It was just... I don't think I was noticing it as much because I was preoccupied.
Yeah.
Like having a life, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was it that first got you into it as an adult then?
I think because it's always been going on. I've had it throughout my life, like I said, from being 4 years old. There's just all sorts of weird stuff that's gone on. But it was always... When like with the light person and the UFO and everything, I never spoke to anyone about it. She had a room with my brother, never spoke to him about it. Didn't speak to my parents, none of my friends. We lived in a cul-de-sac. There's only 8 houses.
Yeah.
And didn't speak... is it 8 or 10? Doesn't matter. It's like tiny.
Yeah.
And there's like 2 of my best mates. One lived opposite, one lived next door. And there's another one lived at... 4 of them. One lived at the end of the street and one lived on the corner of the street. We're all around the same age, but never spoke to any of them about any of it.
Yeah.
There's nothing that I felt...
I wonder if they'd experienced stuff and never spoke to you about it as well.
Well, I'm thinking that now. And I don't have contact. I have contact with one of them. That's it. The other 2, even not on Facebook, and one of them died a couple of years ago. So it's...
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? It's like I always thought I was the weirdo at school, but I bet there were other weirdos and they just didn't talk about it.
You know what? I always thought I wasn't the weirdo, but looking back, I was probably the weirdest one there. If I was, I'm quite proud of that, so I don't care.
Yeah. It's quite a cool little badge of honour.
Yeah, but then like you said about how I got into it as being an adult, I think because there was stuff that kept going on, and it always felt like it was just for me. It was look, this, it's still happening. This is what we're giving you. Make from it whatever you will, but we're just letting you know that the phenomena is still going on, regardless of what it is you're doing. Whether you ignore it, acknowledge it, that's down to you.
Probably all happened so that you could do what you're doing now, though.
Well, yeah, because then getting to why I'm doing this now is still stuff was going on. I started listening to podcasts, used to watch Ghost Hunters and like Taps, Zach Baggins, Ghost Adventurers, Most Haunted. I think they were the main 3 ones. My favourite was Ghost Hunters because I was in mid-30s, so I'm jumping quite a bit now from like late 20s to mid-30s. I'd damaged my back and I was out of work for about 18 months. I was having physio, acupuncture, It's like
God.
it was ongoing for like 6 months. It was like
Yeah.
proper bad. So at one point, I couldn't even stand up. I used to have to literally arse about to get around. It was like I learnt to pick things up with my feet because I couldn't.
Yeah.
Like when I was stood up, I couldn't bend down to pick it up.
Oh,
So I'd
God.
have to walk around with no socks on. So I'd be like, just sat literally watching TV all the time. And then, because we had Sky and watching all the paranormal shows and what have you. And then I kind of got into it that way. And then got onto YouTube and was watching stuff on there. And then it just kicked off from that. But then, jumping back to 2020, when we wasn't allowed to play out because Mr. Boris Johnson wasn't allowing it.
Yeah.
It was Halloween, favourite time of year, and couldn't take the kids trick-or-treating. Well, I couldn't take me trick-or-treating with sceptical issue. So I made the website, Facebook page, realised how to do the YouTube channel. So I had it all set out. Didn't know what I was going to do. Initially, I was just going to go out and use Facebook Live to go out and go to different locations and just film it.
Yeah.
And then it kind of just started from there. I got in touch with a few groups on Facebook. I was talking to them. I sent a couple of emails in about encounters that I've had, including the ones that I've just spoke about. And then I thought, do you know what? I might give this a go myself. Just go out, investigate, and then while I'm investigating, talk about other encounters that I've had. And then co-host at the time, because that'd be coming to the second point of lockdown, and we wasn't allowed out again. So it's like the co-host, she said to me, well, why don't we interview people? No, I don't want to have to talk to people.
Yeah. I don't want to talk to the dead.
Like everyone else watching, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And anyway, she convinced me to do it. We got some guests lined up. And like I said, that was probably coming up to 5 years when I first started doing that. I did that with her for about 18 months. So it's only been about 3.5 years that I was at the next level. What I do it in levels was at the next level. And then Nicole came on. It'll be 2 years in October when she started co-hosting with me. And I think it's from that point that I've got to the level where I am now, where I'm happy and I know what's what and kind of know where I need to go with it all.
Yeah.
And then just do that. And that's it. And it's
amazing.
Just working out.
And you meet weirdos like me.
Yes. That was a compliment. I said yes and like, no.
Yeah, you weirdo.
The more windows, the better. That's how I see it.
Yeah, exactly. So, mentioning Nicole, that brings us to a really exciting thing that just happened to you.
Yes.
You just come back from going to Gettysburg.
Yes, I have.
How was it?
It was amazing. Other than the heat, I was worrying about bears because I know they've got bears in that area because it's massive. The actual battlefield is 19 square mile, and I thought I would be able to drive around and get around it in like a few hours. Not a chance. It'd take you at least a week if you want to go to all the different locations, because you've got there's 3 or 4 roads that cut through it. But then to get to the places, there's a lot of walking. You can park up, but then you've still got to walk quite a way on certain tracks. So I'm looking to see if there's any bears, because I thought I can't outrun one, can't climb trees, and it'll probably be better at swimming than me.
Yeah.
So I looked, and apparently there was 3 sightings in 2023. Nicole looked. Yes, there are bears in Pennsylvania. Brown bears, they're not as dangerous as the others. So on and so on. So, right, okay, I'll just keep my out for bears. Anyway, so we go there so I went on Thursday. We go there on the Saturday. And we're walking. Oh, no, we'd been into the Gettysburg town. They've loads of T-shirts. It says, there's this picture on it. It says, please don't stand on me. I'll careful where you stand. And a print of a rattlesnake. I'm like, you've got rattlesnakes? Like, yeah, there's hundreds of them. Fuck. I'm worrying about bears and there's hundreds of rattlesnakes all around.
You're looking up. Why should be looking down?
Didn't hear any, didn't see any. thank God.
Oh,
But it's like, yeah, thanks. So there's a lot more to worry about when you go there. Bears,
yeah.
But I think I heard a growl as we were walking down. There was a place called Little Round Top, and they go up, and there's like it's like a pillar on the stairs that wind up. It's like a lookout tower.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard like a growling coming from inside the trees. Couldn't say anything, and it sounded like a bear. Like I know what bears
Did you
sound
like run up the stairs?
I just stood there like, we weren't even near. That was at the top of the hill. So I'm stood there and I'm like, is that a bear? I think I just convinced myself it was a bear. But you've got bobcats, you've got honey badgers. There's all sorts of different
Those honey
animals out
badgers
there.
are wild.
Yeah, there's badgers, foxes. I don't know what else is around there. But I didn't see any movement. I thought, well, if it was a bear, it was going the other way. And
Thank
yeah,
God for that.
so we went to the Devil's Den first, where all the big boulders are, and you could go in between them. They're like the size of them and the way they're farmed. It's like caves, like little caves, and it's like that was one of the points what there's using like for defence. And then on the opposite side, this is where that little round top. Is it Little Round Top? Whatever it was, I said, I can't remember. That's where that lookout tower was. And it's just the feeling that you get. It's not negative. It's not really positive. It's just, it's one of those you just take it all in because you can see the Blue Ridge Mountains, like, and then if you could see any further, you'd be able to see the Appalachians. And it's just a beautiful view all around. But the heat, I was saying before, the heat was too much. It's 35 degrees during the day. And
That's just too much for anywhere.
It was dry heat. And like I said, I'm guessing it's like it is in the desert. You just walk out and it's like walking into an oven.
Yeah, you're like turning into a prune instantly.
Yeah, it's not even humid. There's no moisture in the air or nothing. It's just dry heat. And then at night, it's like between 28 and 31. And it's just
too hot.
Mad, yeah.
Just
but
too
the
hot.
wildlife over there, butterflies like that proper big fancy wings, and there's fireflies. I've seen a cardinal, which is the same colour.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful. They are, yeah.
Massive red bird just flew and landed in the train. Like, and what's that? I was like a child. And what's that animal? And what's that animal?
Everyone's probably like, Andy, you're here for the ghosts, not the wildlife.
But it's just because you don't get anything like that over here, not even in zoos. So, and they had these secunda beetles. Is it secunda? No,
I've heard of them. I've heard something like similar to that.
It's not secunda. It begins with S, and it's a little tiny thing like that. And I could hear this noise coming from the trees as we was going getting something to eat on the Thursday night. Like, what the hell is that? It's like electricity being generated.
Yeah.
You know, like in the Frankenstein movie, and they pull the lever. Does that electrical?
Yeah,
pull?
I think I've heard them from some program with the trees.
It makes that noise, and I'm like, so they're telling me what it is. I went, how many is that? He went, probably one. I went, one of them is making all that noise. It does sound like electricity pulsating.
Yeah.
And then it just stops. I'm like, this is the weirdest place I've ever been to. Then we get back to the hotel, and they're having a bit of a party outside. So you pull up and get out. So you've heard crickets in the UK, or grasshoppers. You're walking through a field and you can hear them. Mm-hmm. Times that by about 100,000, yeah? Mm-hmm. And add frogs into the mix. And you've got crickets and frogs. And I've recorded it, but it doesn't do it any justice. And I'm like, so what are they? They're like, is that crickets and frogs? Like, yeah. I went, what are they, bullfrogs? They're like, no, just your normal little common frog.
Little frogs.
How many of them? And it was so loud. It's like if you go into a nightclub, get rid of the music and change it for cricket and frog noises. That's how loud it was. You couldn't hear the cars on the road going past because of how loud all this was.
Wow.
So that brings me to another thing. So when they say there's an apex predator about and all the frogs and crickets stop, because of how loud and intense that sound is, you will not be able to mistake that for anything else. Like I said, because of how loud they are, if that just stops, it's going to be like pure silence.
Deadly.
That's going to hurt your ears just for it stopping. So that now makes more sense to me than 10 crickets and probably some frog that's dying somewhere that we get.
God, that's wild.
So, that just changes the whole aspect of what they mean when the sound, like sound of silence, to what it was previous.
That's mad.
I know. So
I love experiencing things like that, though, when you go on holiday and stuff. And
I know.
like...
It was amazing. It was amazing. But like I said, fortunately, didn't get anything at Gettysburg on the battlefield. The hotel is apparently haunted. I did do like a little CE5 thing in my room, but not too much because I was like, right over the other side of the hotel, right at the back.
Yeah.
So if anything happened,
no one would hear you scream.
No, pretty much. So yeah, I was going to do a CE5 on the Saturday night, but we had a massive thunderstorm, thunder, lightning, absolutely threw it down. I ain't going out in that. So
no,
stayed in.
Safer.
Yeah, so there's a few things that I'd planned on doing, but due to everything, because of how busy it was and how many people were there, and then the weather and the heat and just everything, it just didn't pan out how you wanted it to.
No.
But that happens.
Yeah. But you did have an experience.
Yes, and this is...
which you sent me a really bizarre picture of.
Yeah.
And I was trying to like work out what...
GPT.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell is that?
Right, so on the flight back, it was pretty empty. So got given our seats and we're at the back, and I was at that point, I was like 6 rows away from where the toilet and the kitchen area is on the plane, because it's in the middle, and it's got toilets on the right and the left. And the stewardess comes and she goes, "Oh, there's like 4 of us in a row." I went, "Oh, you look a bit cramped there. Why don't you all spread out? All these seats are empty." So we got a row each, and there's about 7 of us, and loads of them, they just lay down across the 3 or the 4 seats, and you get the blanket, you just made a bed.
Oh, don't blame them. I would have done that.
So I'm like, I didn't, because I thought if I fall asleep, I'll wake up flying back or something.
Yeah. So they've turned around and come back.
So I'm sat there and I'm watching a couple of movies, listening to music and that. Anyway, I had these headphones on. I'd nodded off. And I woke up and made a stupid noise, looked round quick, no one acknowledged it, or if they did, they ignored me. And then, like I said, I'm only 3 seats away from where it starts, but then there's a big gap from the kitchen and toilet area. We could probably get another 2 rows of seats, so it's probably about 5 seats in total, I'd say, because I mentally measured it all afterwards. It was probably about 12, 14 foot away from where this thing was. So I'm sat, and then the middle section of the plane, it's like I said, it's a wall, it's got the TV screens on it, then there's a gap on the left and right, and then you've got the toilet area, and then you've got the next bit, and then you've got the business class at the front. And I looked up, and about the height of where it was, so the door was, of the toilet was about 6'4". So this thing was around about 6 foot. It was just below the top of the door. And I'm like, do you know when you just wake up and you think, am I still dreaming?
Yeah.
So I can't remember if I rubbed my eyes or I just started blinking quick. Do you know when you get the floaters in your eyes and it's all...
Yeah.
So I thought it might be something like that. So I did all that, looked up, and it's still there. I'm like, oh my God. And then I watched it for about 30 seconds, and then it just closed in on itself and then wasn't there.
What did it look like? Just a shadow or a...
It was a load of about 1 centimetre in size, diameter.
Yeah.
Red, yellow, blue and green molecules.
Yeah, because I was like... the image you sent me, I was like, were you doing a science experiment on the plane or something?
When I looked, it was just, it was probably about 2 foot long, like end to end. It's like a cloud made up of molecule balls, about a foot in height, about half a foot in height and about a foot deep. Yeah?
That's so weird.
And I'm like, what the... And they weren't moving. It was all solid. So like my hands there, it
Yeah.
wasn't doing all that. So I know it didn't have that dreamscape effect to it. It was just, here you go, look at this.
That is
I don't
wild.
remember seeing the branches between each molecule, but they look like molecules. Yeah. Whether there was or not, I don't know. But there's only them 4 colours. So there's red, yellow, green and blue. And I'm just looking at it. Like I said, and I blinked, I rubbed my eyes or whatever, and it was still there. And I'm like, but at that point, there's nobody walking past, no crew, no passengers, nothing. And I'm looking, and the people that were in front of me, like I said, they'd all laid down to go to sleep. So there's nobody else in front of me. The only people, well, there were, but they was to my left. So where the wall is, that would have cut out their view to be able to see the toilet door.
Yeah. I wonder what it was.
And so flying there, we flew at 36,000 feet. But flying back, it was at 41,000 feet. So whether that 5, 6, 7,000 feet makes a difference as to why that was there. Because I've mentioned it to a couple of people, and they said, could it have flown through something and then you're seeing it? Well, if it had flown through, surely it'd have travelled through the plane. But this
wouldn't just hover.
But I can't categorise it. Someone said it glitched in the Matrix. It wasn't a person or a creature. It kind of was and wasn't a solid object. I've never seen anything like that before. I don't know anyone who's ever seen anything like that before. I've never heard anything. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I've not seen it on videos.
No, I've not.
No noise coming from it. And I'm just sat like, what even is it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think like what my intuition would have said. And it sounds like an extraterrestrial type situation.
I don't know.
But
I
what?
don't know. I'm sat there. I'm like, why am I looking at a load of molecules? You know, when you science at school or college or whatever, and you've got them, and you're putting the branches, the strands between them, and you're linking them, and you're making different. Don't know what you call them, structures.
Yeah.
So you can make different with the molecules. You make different structures, and they obviously in turn create different things like water or tissue or skin or bone. I can't
all
remember
of that stuff.
Yeah. So it wasn't like this is just a mass, but I don't remember seeing the stems, the branches, or whatever they are in between, linking them all together. They were just there, and it looked like I could see between them all. But there's depth to it. There's no sound. They weren't moving. It was just like that. That was it.
Yeah.
And then it just closed in on itself, and then nothing. Didn't see anything again. I've never seen anything like that before.
No, I've not heard anyone say anything about that. I've not seen any pictures of anything like that.
And I wouldn't even know, other than me describing it. I couldn't say, oh, it was da-da-da.
Yeah. Did you ask ChatGPT?
ChatGPT did the images for me.
Yeah. And they go, what is this?
Oh, your fault. I'm addicted to it now. But it was just... It made no sense. I've not even got... So imagine a load of Maltese... There's about a bit bigger than a Malteser, I'd say. But not millions, but 4 different colours. I'd say there's at least 200, maybe 300 at the most. No less than 200, no more than 300. And they were just there, probably like that.
That's really bizarre.
I
just got a really weird tingle on the back of my head.
Don't know, not me.
Yeah.
But then I was speaking to someone about it yesterday, did the podcast, but I didn't say what it was. I sent him the picture, and he said it was Ryan Gollenbeck, RPG, from Expedition Bigfoot. He said fasting, not sleeping. He goes, were you getting headaches? Which had been getting headaches on that side of my head. He goes,
Yeah.
all these different things. He goes, I'm not saying, don't for 1 minute say you imagined it. I believe that it was there. But all these things I suppose it's like if you do DMT or anything like that, it opens another round for you to be able to see, for you to be able to change your frequency so you can witness these things, which makes sense. Because if you've got lack of sleep or you've not been eating or whatever else, or a mix of any of them, then you're going to resonate at a different frequency. So you're going to be open to seeing different things that you wouldn't normally see.
Yeah.
But why did he say it on the plane? I was like,
I don't know. That's the bit that's confusing me.
I was about
See,
a third of the way through the flight, so I was between Canada and Greenland, if that's any help, if anyone's listening, if anyone's witnessed anything around there.
It's interesting, because I always think, like, the minute I think of like planes or anything and things happening on planes, I always think of like ETs and that, because they're obviously in the sky, they're always interested in technology, and pilots always see them, don't they? Like, always see them. So that's what instantly came into my head. But then when you were talking about the molecules, and were they like glowing or anything, or were they just like pure colour?
So I've got a couple of markers here. 1 second, I'm knocking everything. So imagine them lids, yeah?
Yeah.
And they were just like that. They weren't shiny, they were just like a matte finish. Just, they're probably like that, and they're about that far apart. And there's some behind, some in front, and it didn't make any sense. It still doesn't make any sense. I know what I've seen. I know it was, for me, it was real. I don't think I was hallucinating. I definitely wasn't asleep because I made a stupid noise. And then when I seen it, I went, "Oh, what's that?"
I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I forgot about that bit because at the time, remember, I went, "Oh, I've done that noise twice now."
They're gonna be like, "Can you remove that guy?"
Like, leaning forward, looking at it, and leaning back. So by doing that, I don't know if it would make it move or vanish.
Yeah, unless you had got yourself into a state where you were at a frequency where you were able to see the molecular makeup of something within the plane.
Possibly. Someone else said that because, and they also said, "Are you sure you was awake?" I went, "Yeah, I was awake because I woke up and then I stayed awake for at least 2 hours after that because I was waiting for something else to happen."
Yeah, just staring at the toilet.
Yeah, just like, come on. Well, even I used the toilet about 2-3 times because we got free drinks on the flight. So I thought, I'm going to go now because I know I've got to wait an hour for my coach when I land.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to be stuck on the coach for another 2 hours. Toilets on coaches are awful.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, so when I went to the toilet and I'm looking around, looking inside, looking at the mirror, the floor, and there was nothing to suggest anything that it could have been someone that had fallen or...
Yeah.
But surely the staff or other passengers would have seen if it was anything like that. It wasn't normal. It 100% wasn't normal. 100% it was there. I definitely seen it. I haven't got a clue what it is. That is the most bizarre thing I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. Have you asked that? I forgot what his name is. The guy that was on your panel when I was on it.
Agnost.
I can't remember.
Preston Dennett?
Yeah. Have you asked him?
No. I've just been trying to go through it in my head, and I'm playing catch up with myself as well, like with the podcast and all, because
he seems like someone who would have known if somebody's ever seen anything like that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
It's very weird.
I know. I like I said, I couldn't tell you. I can describe it, but I can't tell you what it was.
Yeah, I think this is going to bug me for a very long time too.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry,
That's
not
right.
sorry. At least it's 2 of us now that are baffled.
We're in the club together now.
Yeah. But it was just one of those. Well, it wasn't like, I suppose it's like, yeah, I'm going to show you this, but we're not going to tell you what it is or why it's there or the reason behind it.
Yeah. Spirit does that quite a lot, though.
Yeah.
I find that with guides. especially. I did a meditation the other day, and they showed me it was completely black, and it was a white framed window, had like one big frame and then one small frame and then one big frame, and it had pure white light coming through it, and it just flashed up and then disappeared, and I was like, well, what does that mean?
Well, yeah. Right. But I did buy this from a museum shop, and it's Civil War relics excavated from battlefields and campsites. So you've got a calcium-fired bullet, pottery, a cog, a button, a metal, looks like it's off a knife or a dagger, and something at the top. So I had that in my luggage, because whenever I go away, I don't do luggage, I only do carry-on. And if I've not got enough, tough. Just live like a tramp while I'm away.
It's the best way. Best way. So, maybe you saw the molecular structure of the calcium that's in there.
Couldn't tell you.
Who knows?
Yeah, so that was everything that went on. But it was... Sorry, I don't know what that is.
Get messages from the other side.
It was weird. I don't know what it was, why. I'm just baffled completely.
Yeah. I think you'll probably find out at some stage.
Well, do you want me to put a picture up? So,
I've got the picture, so I'll get Tom to insert it.
Yeah. Is this audio only?
No, it's video as well. So Tom can put the picture in for us.
Yeah.
And then if anyone knows, please drop it in the comments.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to just put one of them up now?
Yeah, if you can.
So it's like, kind of like that. They were the colours. But it's like that distance away. But there's more.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
Yeah. It's about that. Imagine that, like 12 feet away from you, and that is roughly the size that it was.
Usually I have an inkling, but I don't know.
I've not got a clue.
I just don't know.
And everybody I've spoke to are like, you're weird.
See, I don't think you're weird. I just think that's weird.
Yeah. I just think all of it's weird. I don't...
It is all weird.
Don't get it.
It's funny though.
Yeah.
Well, going on from that, if anyone wants to tell us what it is, please drop it in the comments, and then I will let Andy know.
Yeah.
And we'll just see if anyone finds out.
Yeah.
But what I would like to do now is our this or that section.
Go on.
So I'm going to name some things, and you have to tell us which one you would prefer. So here we go. Aliens or ghosts?
Aliens.
Abduction or astral travel?
Say astral travel, because you have more choice, more free will, I think.
Yeah. Cursed objects or haunted locations?
Haunted locations.
Yeah. Crop circles or UFO sightings?
UFO sightings.
Past life regression or remote viewing?
Definitely remote viewing.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Yeah.
I think I do a little bit of that because I can tap into locations before I go there.
Yeah.
And
that's
draw
kind of
things
like
that
what
are there.
I did with Gettysburg. I knew I'd obviously seen pictures, but I kind of got a feel of what it was before I got there, and it was the same sort of feeling when I was there.
Yeah.
So whether that's something, I'm just chatting rubbish. I don't know. Who knows?
Will we ever know? Will we ever know? The truth is out there, or the truth is within.
Truth is within.
That's very, very deep.
Yes.
Skeptics or believers?
See, I like skeptics.
Yeah.
Because I think...
Is it because you like a bit of an argument?
Yeah. No, I think with believers, I'm just going off like what I've seen and what I know and all that kind of stuff, a lot of believers will believe it's this and that's it. There's no left or right. It's just straight up. That's it. There's nothing else to it. This is what it is. Well, can you prove it? And then they'll just start. But you've no hard evidence.
Yeah.
Whereas a skeptic, it's the same argument, but you can explain all different reasons behind it, and not just having to try and fight one person's single belief.
Yeah. Yeah. I do think that especially on paranormal teams, it's very good to have skeptics and believers. So you've got that balance. Because I think sometimes believers need to be brought down to earth a little bit.
I've become more of a skeptic now than being a believer. Before I used to want that everything was real and everything existed.
Yeah.
But now it's like, well, no, I want proof that this thing is real. I still want it to be real.
Yeah.
But
I don't know if I'd say I was more a skeptic. I'm probably a lot more evidential than I was before. I like to know that what I've seen is what I've seen and why I've seen it.
Yeah.
So, and I love it when I get evidence, especially of things that I've drawn, and there's like no way that couldn't have been what it was. Yeah. I love those bits.
Yeah.
So decoding the matrix or escaping the simulation?
I think decoding the matrix, because once you do that, then you can escape the simulation. Because you're working out what it is.
Yeah.
So then
you can work your way out.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. So our final question for you, Andy.
Yes.
For you to impart your wisdom on the people.
Jesus.
If the veil dropped right now and we could see all that exists beyond our senses, what do you believe would shock us most about the true nature of reality?
That history isn't what we've been told it is. As we say, history is wrote by the winners, not by the losers.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will be shocked into the fact that everyday mundane shopping, going to work, going to school, having dinner, meeting, all that stuff that you just do on a regular, whether it's routine or not, that'll have, once the veil drops or is lifted, that'll have a massive impact on that, because I believe that all that will be irrelevant to what is really going on. For me, that the routine stuff, day-to-day stuff, that's what's the word? That's us being dumbed down, so we're not seeing what's really going on.
Yeah. I agree. Very wise, very wise.
I won't say that.
Until September comes, and then we all realise.
Wow.
There's a little sneak peek for the people.
Less said about that, the better.
Oh no, I'm going to carry on going on about it.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
No, thank you.
I will put all your links in the description, but if people can't be bothered to read the description, which happens quite a lot, where would they be able to find you?
So they can get me on YouTube. It's just Alienate UK or Andy DeCodes. DeCodes is one word, DeCodes. I've got 3 Facebook groups, but the main 2 that I use is Alienate UK and New Fog, Northampton UFO group, which is just named it that because a lot of people do, but it's all to do with ETs and alien craft, alien technology, and that's it. So there's one which is more based towards paranormal and everything else cryptids, and this one is purely UFOs and ET. You can email me at andy@alienate.uk.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. I do have TikTok, but I've not even uploaded anything on there, so don't bother with that.
Just scrap it.
Just there in case I need to watch something else.
Yeah, don't even get me started on TikTok at the moment. It's my number one arch enemy.
Awful. It is awful. Don't like it at all.
No. Well, thank you so much. And thank you everyone else for joining. And I shall see you all on the next one. Bye.
Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown on Shell's After Dark archives. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a story that sends chills down your spine. I'd love to hear about your own paranormal experiences, so drop a comment or send me a message. Your story might even be featured in a future episode, and if you're loving the show, please leave a like and share it with your fellow seekers of the supernatural. For those who want even more exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and bonus episodes, join the membership. You'll find the link in the description below. Your support keeps the lights off and the stories coming. Until next time, stay curious, stay brave, and keep exploring the shadows. See you in the archives, after dark.